May I invite you to stand as we have the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Miss Courtleigh, is she in the room? Please pray. We'll now have prayer led by Miss Courtleigh.
Good morning, everyone. May we stand for prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your goodness, we thank you for your mercies, and we thank you for your grace. We thank you, Almighty God, that we can be here in the land of the living, dear God, to come together in this fashion, where two entities, Almighty God, have come for a cause that is worthy, Almighty God, worthy for the women, mighty God, that are facing abuse in our country. Father, Heavenly Father, we pray, God, that the events, mighty God, leading from here, Lord, would be to your honor and to your glory. We ask, Almighty God, that it will be the event of the year. We thank you for the partnership, God, that has developed between First Heritage and the Ministry of Finance under the Civil Service Week Committee. Heavenly Father, we pray, God, that you will bless everything that is to be done, that is to be said. And from now on, God, we ask in no other name but the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you very much, Miss Courtleigh. So, ladies and gentlemen, we gather here this morning as we launch the first renewal of the Civil Service Week 5K run walk, or walk run, whichever one you put at the front. Same event, right? And it is indeed a physical and mental exercise. The Ministry of Health is here, Health and Wellness, and they'll tell you wellness goes beyond physical wellness, but mentally and emotionally we need to be in tip-top shape. And so flexibility is part of what we must practice at such an event, and hence we're going to make some adjustments in the program. So we ask the speakers who are down to bring remarks and comments to be on the queue, as you will be called upon, not in the order that's printed necessarily, because we also have one or two persons who are not here just yet. But who we do have are going to be called upon very shortly. My name is Wayne Jones. I am from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, and I have been tasked with being the road marshal for this race this morning. In welcoming you, I want to acknowledge, of course, our main sponsor, who I think CEO, it is appropriate to say our lifelong partner, First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union Limited, that has seen it fit to join with us in another form, as they have been with us for a mighty long time, and to join with us in another form to put on this very important activity in our Civil Service Week calendar. The different speakers, no doubt, will give you their insight and perspective on the event, and hence I will not attempt to give you that overview, but certainly to recognize a number of persons and organizations. Of course, there is First Heritage. We also have other sponsors who have joined us. LASCO is back again. Thank you. Good to have you. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, through its brand, let me say, of Jamaica Moves, is here represented by, is it Takis? I got it right, Takis. Takis Foga, of course, representing Minister Tufton and the entire team at Ministry of Health and Wellness. Good to have you on board. We certainly welcome your participation and your support. I think our objectives are the same. We also have, of course, Mrs. Lorna Phillips and team from the Civil Service Week Planning Committee. And we have on cue our Minister of Finance and the Public Service. May I ask you to just stand, ladies and gentlemen, and acknowledge the arrival of our Minister. Welcome, sir. Good to have you. We also have other representatives of the public sector, whether it's the Ministry of Finance or other government entities. We have other colleagues from First Heritage. We have other colleagues from the Civil Service Association, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is the originator of the idea of Civil Service Week. And as long as it has been underway, they have been a stalwart supporter of the event. So we welcome those representatives from the JCSA. Of course, this is a media launch. And what's a media launch without the media? We're happy to have our colleagues from media, some of whom obviously are our public sector colleagues. And we're really happy to have you, but we're also most delighted to have our colleagues from the other media houses. We have Mellow FM, that's broadcasting from our location today, and we thank them and the people in Radioland who are taking the broadcast. I think JIS and others may be streaming as well. We say thank you all for joining us this morning as we stage the launch of the inaugural Civil Service Week 5K run. Do we have Miss Tatiana answer? She's here. Where? From Women's Inc., which is the identified charity. This year, proceeds from the walk run will go towards supporting our family and friends who are supported through the Women Inc. Crisis Center. And later we will hear from Tatiana answer as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 5K, it's not a 100 meter, so it's a little bit slower in the time, but we certainly are going to ensure that our time here this morning is in fact one that we can be proud of, and that we will be recognized for having run or walked the race in good time. Agree? All right. So to get us going with comments and remarks, I'm going to now invite the CEO of our main partner, FHC Cooperative Credit Union, Miss Roxanne Linton, to bring remarks. Roxanne.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Mr. Wayne Jones, Deputy Financial Secretary in the Minister of Finance and the Public Service, as well as our capable Master of Ceremonies today, members of the media, members of the Civil Service Week Committee, our sponsors, my fellow FHC colleagues, our specially invited guests, pleasant morning to you all. How many of us have run a 5K, whether in the past or has been keeping up with the schedule of 5Ks that happen every now and again? I know our dear minister does some running. Yes, most persons, right? I personally love 5Ks because I think it's a good starter race. I think it's a good starter race. About 10 years ago, I think I did my first 5K. And from there, I was inspired to set a goal to do my first marathon. And so, about 9 years ago or so, I completed my first marathon. And so for that reason, thank you. For that reason, I'm particularly passionate about 5K races because I think it enables us to set, terrific goals for ourselves. And even now, when really difficult times come about in life for me, I go back to mile 20 when you have to dig really deep, and just that mental strength that comes from completing 26.2 miles. So I'm happy you are here. Hopefully through this event, we'll have some stories where some other goals around running are set and accomplished. But today I'm very pleased to be here as we officially launch the second staging of the Civil Service Week 5K walk run. But it's also the first staging where FHC is a title sponsor. And so we're very proud of that. You'll recall that recently we also revamped the Civil Servants of the Year awards, and so this represents an extension and a deepening of our relationship with the public sector. The truth is that our civil servants are, for me, I do recognize our civil servants are some of the most hardworking individuals in our society. And I think they give of themselves tirelessly and overcome a number of challenges. And many times they do this without much recognition. And this can sometimes lead to inertia or discouragement. And so that's why I'm very proud of the Civil Service Week Committee, who has been working diligently throughout the years to ensure that there's recognition, appreciation, and there's a pride generated in relation to the sector. And FHC has supported this process over many years. And so it is that this year FHC has decided to partner with CSW Committee in raising the bar and building on the energy surrounding these celebrations. As collaborative entities staging this event, FHC and the CSW Committee truly believe that the 5K walk run signifies an effort to bring civil servants together to inspire a renewed pride in being a part of the government service. I think it's always good when we're running for a cause, and so it is important for us to note that the proceeds of this run will go towards the Women Inc. Crisis Center in Kingston. We believe that this is an excellent charity as we try to assist with improving the infrastructure at the Center for Women in Crisis Situations as it relates to domestic abuse. It is our intention to ensure that we meet our target to raise the necessary funds for this cause. With our wide membership base at FHC and the over 10,000 civil servants and the wider public, we are very energized that this will happen and happen significantly. So I think it's exciting, this race, the CSW FHC 5K walk run, and I think it promises to be a great success, and I expect vibrant energy as we draw closer to the time. My team and I are thrilled to be a part of this venture, and we do thank you for being here with us today. I do look forward to seeing you and how this race is going to unfold, and we're claiming that it's going to be a great success. And I look forward to seeing you on the road November 16th, bright and early. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam CEO, and certainly November 16 is going to be a day to remember once again, right, everybody? Getting in shape, getting those running gears going. I know Minister already, last year. What I can certainly say is that I know he started out running last year. Now, I walk, let me admit that, so I wouldn't know if him run or him walk the journey, but I understand from good source that he did do a good time. All right? Thank you very much, Madam CEO. At this time, can I now invite Ms. Danielle Cunningham from Lasco, our beverage partner, to bring some remarks.
Thank you very much. Ms. Roxanne Linton, thank you very much for doing the greetings. I will simply say good morning to all, and thank you all for being here. At Lasco Distributors Limited, we truly believe that our teachers, principals, nurses, and police officers are the backbone of our society. Having embraced our responsibility as nation builders, we recognize that sustainability of the critical facets of our society are ultimately Jamaica's prosperity depends heavily on the involvement of our national leaders, civil servants, and citizens. It is more than fitting, in fact, it is necessary that LASCO shows its support to the civil servants through our partnership with the Civil Servants Week Steering Committee. We strongly believe these resilient souls who have watched over our families into the wee hours of the night, protecting us from harm, deserve to be honored all year round. And I will also say that last year when I was called upon and introduced this concept and said, "Are you interested?" I said, "Is that a real question?" We are LASCO. We are on board no matter what. We will be there. So for the past 3 decades, we have gathered to honor the nurses, our student nurses, police officers, our teachers, our principals of the year by paying homage to their outstanding service that keep the wheels of our society in balance. Today, for this second staging, LASCO, through its brand, of course, iCool Water, the hydration sponsor, continues to add our voice in strong support of the Civil Servants Week Steering Committee and their movement to positively transform the lives of our nation's civil servants through physical activity. And of course, we're in great support of the charity Women in Crisis Center. As a hydration sponsor for all the enthusiastic athletes, of which I'm going to try and be one, I will participate, although I'm not a runner, but I will try. I'm sure ambulance services will be there. We are proud advocates for a healthy civil servant being strong and therefore more efficient at their various responsibilities. In closing, we wish the CSW Steering Committee a successful week. We stand with you in making the development of our civil servants for a better Jamaica our priority. We look forward to seeing our runners, walkers, and joggers, I'll be the walker, and special athletes come out in numbers on the day. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you very much. That LASCO, of course, hydration is an important part of everything, and even more so when we are running and walking. So thank you, LASCO, for being on board. Ms. Nicole Bruce, you represent an outlet that provides us with insurance, and some of us families going to need insurance after this race. So welcome, please.
CUNA Caribbean Insurance Jamaica Limited is a member of the CUNA Mutual Group and the leading provider of insurance solutions, namely the popular FIP, Family Indemnity Plan, Golden Harvest Savings Plan, Family Critical Illness Plan, and a suite of other products and services offered through our credit union partners. We are very happy and honored to be a part of the second staging of the Civil Service Week and First Heritage Credit Union 5K Walk and Run. For more reasons besides the fact that First Heritage is one of our very valued strategic partners, civil servants make up a very large percentage of our portfolio, and partnering with FHC is a great way of giving back to this group. We fully endorse supporting a good cause and, of course, participating in a healthy, fun activity. On behalf of the CCIJ family, I encourage you to tell your friends and family about this 5K and, of course, about our products and services offered. Where? Nowhere else but here. Thank you for having us on board, and thank you for having us on board as a sponsor to this fantastic event. We do look forward to a clean, fun-filled, safe 5K.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Whilst the presentations were taking place, the number one representative of the originator, Mr. O'Neill Grant, arrived. We want to welcome you, Mr. President. O'Neill Grant, for those of you who don't know, you probably have been away in Abu Dhabi or somewhere for years. O'Neill Grant is the president of the Jamaica Civil Service Association. Good to have you as always, Mr. President. Tatiana, I saw you clapping, and when Madam CEO spoke, you're applauding. You have great anticipation, no doubt. Please come and share with us this morning.
Good morning, all. I am Tatiana Answer, and let me just say that it is with great, I mean immense pleasure that I am here today on behalf of Woman Inc. A little bit about us. We are a non-governmental organization, and we're actually celebrating 35 years this year. We deal with the darker side of womanhood, so to speak. So we provide assistance for victims of rape, incest, domestic violence, sexual harassment at the workplace, and since recently, since human trafficking consistently rears its ugly head, we are represented on the National Human Trafficking Task Force by our Executive Director, Joyce Hewitt. Now, a little about the support we give and the support we get. So our services include 2 crisis centers, one in Kingston and one in Mobay. The Kingston one is at 4 Ellesmere Road, and the Montego Bay one is at 4 Sam Sharp Square. It's available for face-to-face counseling for anyone that needs it, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We also operate a 24-hour hotline, and the number is 929-2997. I have to say that slowly because you really never know who needs it or who knows someone that needs it. So again, that's 929-2997. At this time, we run the only crisis shelter in the country that provides temporary emergency housing for women in desperate situations. And in 2007, it was actually refurbished by the US Embassy, so we're very grateful for that. And the support we get now. The organization is run by volunteers,
And I think that it is a testament to the determination of the men and women who volunteer at Woman Inc. that we have been able to stand the test of time as an organization and be around for these many years. Especially since we don't give compensation, and that has never been a hindrance to the persons who give of their time and resources to the organization. In order to maintain offices and other little odds and ends that we need to pay for because expenses come up, we get a government subvention, and we also get support from international and local charitable organizations and corporate companies. Sometimes we find that the need is ever steady while the financial support is more sporadic, and that is why we are so grateful to have been chosen as the beneficiary for part proceeds of this 5K. Personally, not really a fan of exercise. I am a couch potato, but I have the sneakers ready and the Woman Inc. t-shirt ready and getting all my family to sign up and classmates, co-workers, everybody, because we really appreciate the support and all the help that we can get is necessary. In closing, I want you guys to think of all the murder-suicides that have been in the media. Not even a recent thing, it's consistent even though it doesn't happen all the time. That is evidence of domestic violence reaching a fever pitch, but there are so many other instances that they don't end in death, but they leave lasting effects, and you don't hear about it in the media. So I'd like to invite all who are able to volunteer with us. We're always looking for new blood. Public education committee or fundraising committee, all them. We could use some bodies. So if you've got the time, please see me right after and I'll let you know procedure and all. And these issues that we're helping women to face, it's way too commonplace in Jamaica. And unfortunately, that necessitates our existence as an organization. And donations like this one definitely go a long way. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree this is an extremely worthy cause that we should support. And that support is going to only be possible if we all sign up, get our friends, our families, our colleagues to sign up. You will hear more about the sign-up process later. But it is important for us to be able to lend the support that such a worthy cause deserves. Thanks again, Tatiana, and I'm sure this will be a successful partnership. So, friends, road race, running, walking in Jamaica has been around for a little while. But there is one name that whenever you hear about 5K, 3K, 8K, 10K, that's always called. And that's the man who has become a doyen of that activity, Mr. Alfred Frano Francis. So when we decided to go the route of a walk-run, there was no question as to which entity we should turn to. We turned to the leading outfit in organizing and implementing such activities, Running Events Jamaica, headed by Alfred Frano Francis, who will now come and share with us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me apologize for having a 10 o'clock appointment in my phone when it's really a 9:30. Anyway, I took 20 minutes to come here from Stony Hill. A pleasant morning, everyone. And I must say it's indeed a pleasure. I've thought of so many things to say this morning, but I will minimize what I have to say. But Lady Tatiana, if you don't take time out for fitness, you're going to have to take time out for sickness, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased and honored to be associated with this wonderful event. Because when you have a body like the civil service, who is 120 strong, who are the engine of our nation, who execute on behalf of the policymakers of our government, it is a big responsibility. A big responsibility to deal with the daily procedures, but also in being exemplary. And I think that this is a body that should set an example when it comes to health and wellness in our nation. So, to inspire and create a focus on November 16th at 6 a.m., Emancipation Park, we'll have our warm-up at 6:30. We'll have our race start, and it's our 5K walk and run, and this year we're having a wheelchair category. As I think the charity partner is well deserving, Woman Inc. This year we have slightly changed our route. That's my phone in my bag. Ooh. And our route this year, we'll start at Emancipation Park. We'll turn left on Old Hope Road. We go on Oxford Road first. Oxford, Old Hope Road, Lady Musgrave Road, Trafalgar Road. Then we turn left on Worthington. Then we turn right on Enin, left onto Altamont Crescent, right onto Trinidad Terrace, right onto St. Lucia. Then we turn left onto Tobago, and left onto Knoxford Boulevard, right on Grenada, left on Barbados, right onto Knoxford, Tobago. You know Tobago by NCB Bank where the parking lot is. Then you turn down Knoxford Boulevard. Then you turn right. You turn right on Grenada, right? Then you continue around Grenada. Then you turn left on Barbados. Barbados come out, yes? We're going to have a lot of music in those corners. We call them musical corners, all right? Then we turn right onto Trinidad, and then we come out on Grenada again, and we just make the left and come out on Dominica, and then right on Knoxford Boulevard, and then we go down Oxford Road to Emancipation Park. We had a nice route before, but we have been prompted by the police. I had a meeting with the deputy commissioner, and he says that we have a lot of road races, and we have to take in consideration the motoring and the pedestrians who use the roads. Saturday morning is a very busy morning. And if you ever, I did my due diligence by sitting down on Old Hope Road and the amount of taxis that move on that road. So we are trying to get into wellness, support a worthy cause, but also lessen the inconvenience to our motoring public. So hence we design a route which takes a narrower space, okay? The road surfaces are good, wonderful, you'll have a good time, right? Now, the prices. The civil servants who register as an individual, the price is $1,000, right? And for a single entry, it's $1,500. And you know, sometimes people ask, what am I going to get from $1,500? You're going to get a wonderful race experience, and you're going to get wonderful memorabilia, which we call it a hardware, which is going to be a nice medal, okay? And for a group of 50, but less than 100, you will pay $1,200 per person. Group of 100 and over, it's going to be $1,200 per person, but you also get a tent free, right? A team tent, right? Student groups up to 30 persons, $800 per student. Student groups over 30 persons, $500 per student. Age 65 and over, $1,000 per person. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have a wonderful secretariat set up, manned by some very enthusiastic and passionate persons. And, you know, the contact numbers are 876-492-7565 and 876-889-3088. Or you can email us at runningeventsja.com. But shortly, our online registration will be open, and you can use your debit or your credit card and register at runningeventsja.com, right? If you want to do your hard copies, you can do your hard copies and go to the Ministry of Finance. And these two wonderful ladies, Miss Layla and Miss Blackwood, will be there to graciously take care of funds. Our deadline for registration is November 13th, right? And then we'll have your bib collection, which will happen at the Ministry of Finance also. And that's going to be on Friday, November 15th. No, there will be no registration or bib pickup on race day. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Jamaica has been on a movement to really get our population well. And as I see Takis here, I know Takis, we have been at this thing for many years. I won't let them know your age by saying how long. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a responsibility to love ourselves and take care of ourselves. And sometimes we seem to take care more of material things than we do take care of ourselves, right? I know that the retirement age in the civil service is 60, right? And you're moving it to 65. Right, which is fantastic. But even at 65, I think you're a young person. And how can you enjoy the quality of life after you're 65? That's the way, by maintaining your wellness, right? I know that, like Tatiana alluded to the point, that really getting fit is work, but getting addicted to fitness is a wonderful feeling, ladies and gentlemen, right? And I encourage you all to love yourselves and treat your body right. Okay, thank you very much.
And Minister Tufton would love you for that plug, for sure. I'm sure. Thank you very much, Frano. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's shaping up to be yet another very beneficial activity. Obviously going to surpass last year's, and we really want to encourage everybody to come on out and be there. You know, when Frano's phone went off and he said that was his phone in the bag, I said to myself, okay, fine, but at least it is not the case where a man used gunshots as his ringtone and the phone went off in the bank. No, the customers don't have any tellers to serve them. The tellers have all run for hiding and cannot be found. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole thing has been made possible through the direction of the Civil Service Week Planning Committee. It's a multifaceted, multi-entity committee representing public and private sector interest, and it is led by Mrs. Lorna Phillips, Principal Director in Compensation Management and Implementation Branch in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. And we now invite Lorna to come and give us an overview.
It is Ann Wilson who says, good health is not something we can buy. However, it can be extremely valuable. It can be an extremely valuable savings account. Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Minister Nigel Clark, who stepped out, CEO of First Heritage, Miss Roxanne Linton, media, all our other sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, a good morning. The work of the Civil Service Week Steering Committee doesn't start near Civil Service Week. It starts long before, because there's a number of activities that we have to pull together. Now, about 3 years ago, we considered having a 5K. We weren't able to get it off the ground the first time around because of the time when the suggestion was made and all that was required. But last year, we managed to pull it off. And for a new 5K, it was said that the outcome was a very good one, because we know of others that were not as successful, and so we celebrated. But it was such a good one that FHC reached out to us around about the same time, to say, look, we want to be a part of this next year. And so they didn't let us forget. They continued, and so today we are here, partly because of the interest of the First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union. Thank you. So having started, we want to keep the momentum going, and things are looking up. Things are looking up. And so last year we had LASCO as our hydration sponsor, and we also had Jamaica Moves and Minister Tufton. This year we have formally added Kuna Caribbean, as well as Sagicor, who came on in the 9th hour yesterday. Right, so thank you, Sagicor. We are grateful. Now, while the Minister of Health is saying, love your body, treat your body right, it's more than that, and we want to share that with some other people. And so, our charity, Women Inc. Crisis Center, this support has been in the making since 2017, when we always have a list of possible charities. And we weren't able to do it 2017, we weren't able to do it 2018, but we are doing it 2019. I cannot oversell the need for us to come out and support this activity. We live in Jamaica, and we have seen the news as we speak to murder, suicide, and we don't look on the private sector because it's at home, because we also had one correctional officer who killed his wife, who was another correctional officer, and then himself. And so if we can by any means contribute to preventing these things from happening by having a safe space, then by all means we need to all line up or rally behind the Women Crisis Center as they provide this special service to a needy part of our sector. I want to extend my gratitude to my fellow colleagues who share on the CSW Steering Committee, also to Mr. Francis, who has been holding our hand, running events, and ensure that we have our regular meetings specifically for the 5K. And those meetings are like every 2 weeks, and they will increase as we get closer to time. It is my hope that this event will go from strength to strength, and that we will accomplish the targets that we set for ourselves this year. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Lorna. We certainly appreciate the work of the Civil Service Week Committee. You really have worked extremely hard and smart at getting us to this point each year, and it gets better with each year. So, ladies and gentlemen, last year, after the inaugural staging, after the race was over, Minister Clark saw me in Emancipation Park, and he said to me, I like this, and I want to be more involved with this. I remember a conversation, I think Minister Williams was in it, and President Grant, Minister, and you said, listen, tell me what support I need to give to make this happen bigger and better. This is great. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's no wonder our guest speaker this morning is our Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark. We welcome you to the podium, sir.
I know notice the tagline is run, jog, walk. There had to be a category for Wayne Jones. Master of Ceremonies, Wayne Jones. President of the Civil Service Association, O'Neill Grant. Key sponsor, Ms. Roxanne Linton. Nicole and Danielle, respectively, from Lasco and Kuna. And special Woman Inc. beneficiary. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's good to be here at the launch of this. The walk-in MC gave an accurate account of the conversation last year, that I thought that it had tremendous potential given the size of the civil service and the fact that the civil service, we want to be healthy, and healthiness leads to productivity, and productivity by the civil service benefits all of Jamaica. I ran last year, and I found it an interesting event because of the course or the route last year, and I know it may be different this year. You know, I've run a few 5Ks before, and this one started out, you know, kind of flat, and then it had a long incline that never seemed to end. But the purpose of it is that it separated the wheat from the chaff. Because as they're jogging, I'm talking to some people on the flat, and then all of a sudden, they start whoops, whoops, and then whoops, whoops, and you know, on the hill, I'm alone. In fact, my security. All right, I shouldn't say that, but so it was an interesting route. But then it was balanced last year by a decline at the end. So from the perspective of the finish line, everybody looked like a runner, right? From the finish line, you see, you know, back straight, coming down, pumping up, almost look as if they're accelerating. So Franny, Mr. Frank, who is the dean of these events in Jamaica, we want to make sure that we make everybody look like a star at the finish line, all right? The way it was designed last year made people, you know, even if they were struggling throughout the event, Mr. Jones crossed the finish line and felt he did so with energy. And it's important that we do that. But, you know, we have to have a goal when you start your 5K. And the goal might be to do better than the year before. Or if you walked last year, maybe you half run this year. If you half run, maybe you run. And you set, or if you run, maybe try to do a little better time. My goal is to make sure that I come ahead of Mr. O'Neill Grant. Which is not going to be difficult. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is great that we're doing this. The civil service plays a crucial role in our country. We depend on the civil service for just about everything. And if you think about the public sector, which is broader than the civil service, the public sector delivers to us services that make life possible and make life function. And we are always interested and focused on a public sector that can deliver these services in more efficient ways from year to year. Because if we can do more with the same set of resources, it means that we all as a country benefit. An event, the civil service is large. It's not possible to hold the civil service in any building in Jamaica. And so an event like this provides an important social function where we can have large numbers of the civil service who can't hold together in some auditorium out participating in the same activity, people from across ministries in a relaxed atmosphere, having fun, and doing so with very positive values and positive aims in mind. And we send a signal to the rest of the country that this activity is important. And I dare say that if we continue this event can become one of the largest 5K events in Jamaica, by definition. And that should be our aim. Even if you have to walk, Mr. President. But that should be our aim, that this event, which only started last year, and I'm pleased that it started last year, that in time it can become among the largest running events on the calendar that everyone looks forward to. So I'm not here to give you a guest speech. I'm here to bring greetings and to say to you, well done to the organizers, the Ministry of the Public Service, the Chairman of Civil Service Week, Lorna Phillips, Civil Service Association, and to thank our sponsors and those who have come on board. We could not do it without you. It takes money to bring on Mr. Francis. Not Mr. Francis himself, but the technology costs money, the security costs money, the organization costs money, and we need private sponsorship in order to be able to achieve and put it on. So the date is set. I guess it's on your marks. We have our objectives in mind, and we're going to leave Mr. O'Neill on the hill. Again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Yeah. I'm going to ask you to excuse me.
Mr. Minister, thank you very much. It certainly continues to be our pleasure to have you. As we excuse our minister, who of course you'd appreciate have very significant matters of state to deal with. But we will continue. Again, thanking the minister, and we look forward to his participation. There's another minister who, as we have been hearing, is quite supportive of the activity, represented by the brand Jamaica Moves, and we have been hearing the tagline repeated here this morning. Minister Tufton, who's not here, but a video presentation has been prepared to exhibit his endorsement, and we're going to go to that just now. Will you please close the door for me, please? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chris Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. November 13th to 17th is Civil Service Week, and there will be a range of activities to recognize the important contribution of our civil servants, including a 5K walk-run during that week, sponsored by First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union. I'll be there. I encourage all of you to be there. This is about health and wellness, building a stronger, more efficient civil service. Remember, November 13th to 17th, Civil Service Week, 5K run walk sponsored by First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union. Be there. It is a wellness event. Thank you.
And thank you to Minister Tufton. We know you will be running, walking, whatever it is that you do. We see you on the track all the time. So thank you. Yes, they're having good time outside there. Wonderful. I hope they can laugh as heartily after the race. No, right? Right? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have been doing some marketing here. We have been promoting, we are streaming, we are live, and so on. But the process does not end here. We will be embarking on a more significant marketing campaign. And to tell us more about that, I now invite Mrs. Juvaine Montague Anderson, Assistant GM at the First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union Limited, who have responsibility for member experience. Juven.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Jones. You know, the work continues, but I think my role and on the committee, as well as the entire committee's role, is one of the most significant roles, because we can't have a race without people. And for us to get participants registered, we have to get the word out. So I have a short presentation, and I'll also be reinforcing some of the things that you heard from our race director, Mr. Francis. But I just want to say that First Heritage is extremely happy to be a part of this event. Last year, we were not a sponsor, but we have always been closely associated with Civil Service Week. And I took my team out, led by our CEO, of course. There were maybe about 35 of us who went out. And we had a wonderful time. We enjoyed that route, but we know that this year we're also going to enjoy this new route. I think there's more shade with this new route, right? I think so. Yes, there's more shade, so it means that the times will improve. So we're very, very happy to be a part of Civil Service Week and our association. Some of you would probably know that in 2012, when Churches Credit Union and GSB merged, we actually took on the government bond, because GSB Credit Union at the time, their bond was government workers, etc. So we have a large percentage of our members who are civil servants, who we love, and this is one way, as Ms. Linton said earlier, of strengthening our ties with our civil servants. So at FHC, we have approximately 180,000 members. So you see why the race now can become probably the largest race. Because if we can mobilize X percentage of that, plus all the civil servants in Jamaica who are members, or as well as those who are not members, plus all the running clubs, get some of the high schools on board, corporate entities, other credit unions. There are 25 credit unions across Jamaica. We have over 1 million credit union members across Jamaica. Look at some of the service clubs as well as the public. This is a race that can grow into a big race. Right, Mr. Francis? I agree. I just want to reinforce some of the things. So the registration fees are there. It's just $1,500 per person, and I'm sure that that is manageable. And then we have groups. We are looking at students as well, where we've reduced that so that it will be affordable for them, and it will also be attractive, having, you know, the parents running and the children along. We're encouraging family participation as well. We're not leaving out the over 65, because we know that a number of our persons who are over 65 are very, very active on the course. We see them on Saturday mornings. And I see a young lady nodding her head at the back, one of our members who is out in Stony Hill running every Saturday morning. So I know that we will attract a number of persons who are over 65 as well. Again, Mr. Francis mentioned that there are medals for all. I know it's an incentive when you have medals. People collect their medals. I do a few 5Ks, and I have a few at home, and I'm proud. I mean, I can't share my times. My CEO would say, Juven, fast or slow, a mile is a mile. Everyone's a winner. So whether my time is under a minute, or it's a couple minutes, under an hour, or it's a couple minutes, I'm very proud. Once I cross that finish line, I'm very proud, because I could have been doing something else. So we have prizes, we have trophies, we have a number of other things that we will be adding to what we currently have or what we had last year. And then we have our secretariat, which is very, very important because these two young ladies, they will be holding the fort down. You know, as sponsors, we have our other jobs. As leaders in government, they have their other jobs too. So we have to have a tightly run secretariat who can do all the follow-up for us, get all the commitments, get all the persons registered, and can also go into companies, target companies, and get persons to sign up, which is very, very critical to help us spread the word. And we also have running events, so persons can also go online and register. So at FHC, there's something that we do every 3 months, which we call Fitness Revolution parties. So we have a huge parking lot at our head office, 810 Eureka Road, and we encourage our team members to keep healthy, keep fit. It's all about wellness. And we also invite our members and the public. So for 3 months, every 3 months, for a period of 3 months, we will have these Fitness Revolution parties happening, where it's just a workout session, 1 whole hour of intense workout, aerobics, you name it. And we have different instructors. So we have celebrity instructors, Body by Kurt, Sweet Energy Fitness, Rohan, plus so many more. So what we will be doing this year, we will be taking our Fitness Revolution party, starting on the 24th of September, across a number of government agencies. So this week, it might be at FHC. Next week, it might be at the Ministry of Finance. The following week, it might be at another ministry, because this is one way of promoting the race and getting more persons to participate from an early stage. In terms of advertising, you'll be seeing the race across a number of channels. We're looking at print, we're looking at our flyer distribution, we're looking at our posters, we're looking at the newspapers, as well as electronic means as well. Video boards, email blasts, websites, etc. We're currently doing an outside broadcast right now with Mellow FM. They have been promoting this event, and you'll continue to hear about the race on Mellow FM. You'll continue to hear it on Nationwide, and there are other radio stations that we will be partnering with. Now, we all know that social media is very powerful, and that is also another channel that we will be utilizing. The Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube. So what we're asking you to do, when you see these posts, share them in your space and let the message get out there. It's a new race, it's just the second year, so some persons probably would not have had it on their calendar, although it has been on running events calendar from the beginning of the year. But we need the help. We need to get the message out there. So we're asking you to share and share and share and start having conversations about our race. Remember, this is ours, right? So the route, Mr. Francis spoke earlier about the route, and he wasn't reading anything. He was just going from his out of his brain. We start at Emancipation Park, Oxford Road, make a left on Old Hope Road, up to Trafalgar Road, left, down into Worthington, left. And he knows it. But this is a visual for those of you who got lost while he was talking. So this is what the race, what the route, what it looks like. And as I said before, I like this route because there's a lot of shade. So our times will increase. But I just want to tell you that for those of you last year who did not participate, we've added fun elements, music. Music. We're all about music, and it will get us excited and want us to go faster. Right, Mr. Jones? Okay. So at various stops, the music will be there, and we're all familiar with some of the other races and what the music, what it does when you're out there and you hear your favorite soca song, and you just get re-energized and push a little bit harder, etc. So this is what the course looks like, and I know that a lot of people, it's a new route, a lot of people will very much like, walking or running this route. But, I always say, running, sometimes we all need a little motivation. Because sometimes I don't run, I walk, but I would love to get to the stage of running, but it's not happening yet. But I do what I can, when I can, however I can. But sometimes we all need a little motivation. And you can see that imagery there. What are you seeing? So it's all running into wellness. That's what that is saying. We're running into wellness. So I just want to remind you all that the race is on the 16th of November. We need as much help as possible to get our numbers up. Last year we had about 1,000 participants. This year we're aiming for 3,000 participants. It might be more based on all the effort that we're going to put into getting persons registered for this race, but we're going to need your help. We can't do it alone. So I know the Civil Service Committee is up and working and running. Right, Mr. Poyser? I almost said something else. Right, Mr. Poyser? We're up and running. I tell you now, you see that the Civil Service Steering Committee, we're something else. Lorna, how many of us sit on that committee? About 17? About 17? 18? There are 18 of us, and we are family. We are family. So I almost called Mr. Poyser Mr. Porter, but he's Mr. Poyser. That's a joke. That's an inside joke. But we're looking forward to seeing everybody out, our sponsors out with their big teams. We're looking forward to seeing our credit union members, the public, the civil servants, friends, families, our business associates, our partners, everybody out, making it a family event on the morning of November 16th. Thank you so much.
So listen, Minister took some jabs at me earlier, and Juven now come and allude to something. So let me just set the record straight. According to the information provided me by running events last year after the race, I placed third in my category. So just let the record reflect that. All right? Let's just fix that. Let's just fix that. Thank you very much, Juven. Thank you very much. It sounds very, very exciting. Don't you agree? Look like we're going to have a whole lot of fun, right? We're going to mash up Emancipation Park after we're done mash up the route. All right? We look forward to that morning of November 16, 2019. Again, thank you very much, First Heritage. You certainly has given our activity a lot of life and oxygen, and we are looking forward to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that those who are not around or those who will come after us have some concrete evidence of our partnership and our working together, we will now be signing a memorandum of understanding, a symbolic signing of an agreement between the Civil Service Week planning team and FHC, our main partner, which, by the way, does not confine their support to, we alluded to it earlier, but it's not just about the race, but is in fact to our broader Civil Service Week activities, including the Civil Servants of the Year, which you should have heard about. We launched that revamped exercise some weeks ago, and nominations are open. Public sector people, you need to get involved in that as well. So we're going to have the signing of the MOU between the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service representing the government of Jamaica, the public sector, and FHC. Carlene, you're driving that. Who do I call upon? Madam CEO.
So Mr. Jones cannot call upon himself. So I'll invite Mr. Jones to just go across and join our CEO, Ms. Linton, for the signing of this MOU. It's a wonderful partnership because we know that a large part of our membership are civil servants. So we have been a part of the Civil Service Week for many years, over 10 years. And this year, we're investing so much more into this partnership. Mrs. Phillips, I'm going to invite you to come as well and be the witness. And I'll have to invite myself to go across as Miss Linton's witness.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the marriage has been consummated. It's now sealed. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. And therefore, all that's left for me to do is to express our most profound gratitude to you for having come out this morning to be with us. This is certainly an impressive turnout. We certainly feel loved by all of you. We in the public sector, while we enjoy good support and love from segments of our society and our economy, there are times when, we feel like we need some more love. And FHC, Lasco, Kuna, all the sponsors and the friends, media, Sagicor, Ikeda Johnson. Good to see you and company. Happy to have you on board, even at the 9th hour. So your friend Lorna Phillips says. But we're really happy for the support from all of you. Want to thank you. All the public officers, all the people who are involved, the communications and PR team at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, your own marketing led by Juven. You have been just fantabulous. We really thank you all for that support. And ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to this relationship among all of us growing on and never ending. Thanks again. Thanks to the hotel for hosting us. Thanks to our media partners, our outside broadcast team, Mellow FM. I'm not sure who are the functionaries from Mellow, but I know CVM is also here. Love FM is here. And all who are here and who are taking this. Thank you very much. We look forward to your continued collaboration as we roll out the rest of very exciting plans for Civil Service Week 2019. Have a good rest of the day and a good weekend, and see you again. Refreshment is served, so don't go too far. Your morning break is available, but you don't have to come back after the break. All the best, and thanks again.